U.S. dominates ranks of world's richest women. This year, 369 out of 2,781 billionaires, or 13.3%, are women, up from 337 in 2023, when women accounted for 12.8% of the list. Together, they are worth nearly $1.8 trillion, about $240 billion more than last year. More women are joining the rarefied ranks of billionaires, whether through hard work, inheritance, or both. While the United States has the highest number of female billionaires in the world, with 97 in total, other countries such as China and India are keeping pace, a new study finds. China is in second place with 42, while India is in fifth spot with 15, according to financial services provider Citi Index, which scraped Forbes' live billionaire tracker to rank countries according to their respective number of female billionaires. The report comes ahead of the celebration of the International Women's Day. And here are a few richest women in the United States. Mackenzie Scott, the fifth wealthiest woman in America. Mackenzie Scott is an American philanthropist and author who is also famously known for being the former wife of Jeff Bezos, the founder of the e-commerce company Amazon. They were married from 1993 until their divorce in 2019. Mackenzie is the founder of the anti-bullying organization Bystander Revolution. She was hailed as one of the world's most powerful women by Forbes in 2021. As part of the community property divorce deal, Mackenzie was granted 25% in Amazon stock, while Jeff retained 75%. At the time, her Amazon stock was worth $35.6 billion, making her the fifth wealthiest woman in the United States. In May 2019, she announced that she had officially become a signatory to the Giving Pledge campaign, wherein she pledged to donate at least half of her wealth to charity over the course of her lifetime. Jacqueline Mars, the fourth wealthiest woman in America. An American heiress who was born in Washington, D.C., United States of America. She was born as the only daughter of three children to Audrey Mars and Forrest Mars Sr., an American businessman who was famous for developing Milky Way, Mars, M&M, and chocolate candy bars. Her grandfather was the famous Frank Clarence Mars, an American business magnate who founded Mars Incorporation, a company that was passed down to Jacqueline Mars's father, and then finally to her and her two brothers, which makes it a third-generation inheritance. Flaunting their wealth wasn't exactly how she and her brothers were raised. Her father raised them in a frugal way. He raised them to be humble and hardworking despite being heirs and heiresses to one of the biggest candy-producing companies. Jacqueline Mars and her brothers owe their billionaire status to Mars Incorporation, as each of them holds an equal amount of shares in the company. Combined, the Mars family is worth over $94 billion, and annually, Mars Incorporation rakes in about $45 billion, which makes them the third richest family in America. The Mars family, consisting of Jacqueline Mars and her two brothers, purchased Doane Pet Care Company. This caused a significant increase in their earnings and earned them the position of one of the best U.S. dry pet food. In 2008, Jacqueline Mars and her two brothers decided to buy out WM Wrigley Jr. Company in conjunction with Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated for $23 billion. Jacqueline Mars is currently worth $38.5 billion. This is hugely based on her inheritance, and this makes her the fourth richest woman in America. Julia Koch, the third wealthiest woman in America. Julia is an American socialite and philanthropist who inherited her fortune from her late husband David Koch. After her husband's death in 2019, she owned $18 million mansion near Billionaire Lane in Southampton. Thereafter, she worked hard to lead the family business and focused on philanthropic activities. Julia is the daughter of Margaret and Frederick Flesher. As per New York Times, her parents owned a furniture store. They shifted to Arkansas when she was 8 years old, where her parents opened a beautiful clothing shop. She moved to New York City in the 1980s, where she worked as an assistant to fashion designer Adolfo. Furthermore, she had experience working with high-profile clients, for example, First Lady Nancy Reagan. Forbes estimates their wealth to be even higher, at $64.3 billion. Julia Koch and her three children acquire a 42% stake in Koch Industries from her husband. After the death of her husband, she donated $10 million to Mount Sinai Medical Center and $10 million to Stanford Children's Hospital to study food allergies as part of the charity. Koch family owns the Koch Industries, and it is the largest company in the United States based on revenue $115 billion. Julia serves on the boards of Koch Industries and Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. She's also president of the David H. Koch Foundation, which has made grants in excess of $200 million for science and medical research, education, arts, and public policy. Alice Walton, the second wealthiest woman in America. Alice Walton is an American descendant of the fortune of Walmart. Her mother, Helen Robson Walton, was a prominent art advocate and also her father's business mate. After a time of her birth, they moved to Bentonville, where they opened Walton's 5 and 10, their first store bearing their name. She initiated the Llama Company, an investment bank in the time 1988. She was the president, chairwoman, and chief executive officer of the company. In the time 1998, she closed her company Lamaco and moved to an estate in Millsap, Texas, named Walton's Rocking Ranch. In 2015, she listed the ranch for trade and moved to Fort Worth, Texas, to concentrate on the Crystal Islands Museum of American Art. Walton latterly added Norman Rockwell's Rosie the Riveter to the Crystal Islands Endless Collections for $4.9 million. In the time 2009, Alice Walton's love of American art has been questioned by some disbelievers in the art world. She reportedly bought art vended from the collection of Daniel Fraud and Rita Fraud at Sotheby's with a worth of $20 million value in New York in December 2004. In the time 2005, she bought Asher Brown Duran's famed oil from the New York Public Library named Kindred Spirits in a sealed shot transaction for a whopping $35 million. It was bestowed to the library in 1849 by Julia Bryant, son of minstrel William Cullen Bryant. According to the Forbes list 2024, with an estimated net worth of $72.3 billion, Alice Walton is the alternate richest woman in America and one of the flush women in the world. Francois Betancourt Meyers, the first wealthiest women in America. Francois Betancourt Meyers is the granddaughter of Eugene Schuler, the founder of L'Oreal. In December 2023, Francois Betancourt Meyers became the first woman to accumulate a $100 billion fortune. That happened due to L'Oreal shares rising to an all-time high. She became France's reigning L'Oreal heiress in 2017 when her mother Lillian Betancourt, then the world's richest woman, died at age 94. Meyers reportedly had a fraught relationship with her mother and had even filed a criminal complaint against her. The granddaughter of the L'Oreal founder and heir to the family fortune is the world's richest woman in America for the fourth consecutive year, with a net worth of $99.5 billion. The majority of her wealth is tied to her nearly 35% stake in cosmetics giant L'Oreal Group, which has $45 billion in revenue and marquee brands like Maybelline, Kiehl's, and Lancome. It seems like you felt a bit shortchanged with the mentions we made, and because of that, I'll provide you with additional information, alright? This information will delight the Swifties fans out there. Let's go. Taylor Swift, one of the richest women in the world. The pop singer, worth $1.1 billion, was named a notable newcomer in Richest Women in the World list thanks to her Eras Tour, which earned more than $1 billion in 2023. The tour, which started last March and earned Swift an estimated $190 million after tax, made her the first musician to become a billionaire based solely on performances, recordings, and a lucrative $500 million music catalog. Aside from Swift, who Forbes named a billionaire last year, other music artists that have reached billionaire status include Rihanna, whose worth was an estimated $1.7 billion, and Oprah Winfrey is the richest female entertainer and the richest celebrity woman in the U.S., with a worth of $2.5 billion. This year, women make up 13.3% of people named on list of worldwide billionaires, an increase from 12.8% in 2023. Despite the increase, women only make up a small fraction of world billionaires' list. In their stories, we find the power of ambition, the beauty of perseverance, and the importance of lifting others as we climb. They are not just symbols of affluence, but embodiments of possibility, proving that with courage and conviction, anything is achievable. As we bid farewell to their narratives, let us carry their lessons forward, knowing that the road to success is not always easy, but it is always worth traveling. May we all strive to emulate their spirit, their drive, and their unyielding commitment to making a difference, for it is in their footsteps that we find the path to our own greatness.